Ireland has announced plans to officially recognise a Palestinian state. It comes as the three leaders of the coalition government held a press conference at government buildings yesterday morning. Mr Harris said that it was an important and historic day for Ireland and for Palestine. Israel have recalled their envoys to Ireland, claiming that Ireland's decision will encourage terrorism and more instability. Norway and Spain have also announced that they recognise or will recognise a Palestinian state. We're joined on the programme now by Fadl Mustapha, co-chair of the Donegal branch of the Ireland Palestine Solidarity Campaign. The significance of this news to you, Palestinians, the campaign, Fadl?
It's huge, to be honest, Greg. It's massive, but only, if the Irish government's recognition to the Palestinian state is a first step towards the unequivocal support of the rightful Palestinian people for self-determination and the right of return of all refugees. So it's positive in a sense that now you have three more countries that recognize Palestine as a state in the UN. That's 143 out of 193 so far. It's positive in a way that Spain is a big player within the EU. It's positive that Ireland is the moral compass of the EU. And it's also significant that Norway is also a partner in a lot of economic activities within the European Union and outside the European Union as well.
Yeah, and some would say that there's already quite a lot of countries have recognised or have committed to recognise Palestine as a state. So what's the significance of a further three? I think it's really the status of both Spain and Ireland within the EU that makes this such a headline story. Am I correct in that?
Absolutely. Like I said, Spain is a major player within the EU economically, and also Ireland as well is a major player economically as well. But we also have to remember as well that this recognition has to be accompanied with concrete action from the Irish government to hold Israel accountable and punish Israel and pressure the apartheid state of Israel. Otherwise, it's just a mere symbolism and another just political gesture from the Irish government and the other European countries. So there needs to be more pressure now on other European countries to recognize the state of Palestine. And I hear also that another three countries, including, I believe, Slovenia, is in discussion at their parliament level to also maybe recognize Palestine as a state as well. So it is important, it is significant, it is symbolic on an international diplomatic level. It also upgrades the status of the Palestinian representatives here in Ireland as well, where now the upgrade is not is more of a recognition of an embassy and an ambassador rather than a diplomatic representative or a mission representative.
Of course, there have been calls on countries to recognise Palestine as a state for an awful long time. As you've mentioned, many already have. And I think listeners are well aware that what the Palestinians are going through now did not begin, late last year, but it did come really to the fore on the world stage after the Palestinian militant group Hamas launched an assault on Israel on the 7th of October. 1,200 people killed, more than 250 were taken to Gaza as hostages. This is according to Israeli tallies. Given the timing, do you think that there is some justification to the commentary that in some way this recognises or justifies the actions of Hamas on October 7th?
Not at all. It's a bizarre question because nothing justifies violence on either side. So that's a straightforward answer. But we always tend to bring back the conversation to the 7th of October and the denouncement of the action of the whatever Hamas did, and it is a crime. It is a crime against humanity. And now the ICC has actually issued legal papers to prosecute everybody who was involved in this crime. So it is a positive action. But we must not forget the elephant in the room, Greg. The occupation, the apartheid system, the oppression of the Palestinian people for the past 76 years, their denial of self-determination. The elephant is massive and it's only going to grow if we don't go back to the initial
No, I understand
problem.
that, but I can't at the
Yeah.
same time not recognise that action and that loss of life and put it into the context of timing. And you've responded to that, and that's fine. Just to reiterate, you recognise and welcome this move by the Irish and the Spanish. What do you believe specifically the Irish need to do next to build on this move?
Well, like I said, first of all, I think it must end all trade with Israel. Okay, I think the Dáil has now to enact the Occupied Territories Bill that was enacted and passed by the Shannon back in 2018. I think Ireland has the moral obligation. Ireland is taking positive steps due to the mass movement in solidarity of the Palestinian people on the streets, which has put pressure to divest in several Israeli banks from the Irish government, to commit to the joining of the South African genocide case in the ICJ, and also for the review of the EU-Israeli Association Agreement. So that's more pressure, but that's what needs to be happening at the moment, rather than just saying we recognize the state of Israel and full stop. There needs to be more done.
Fadl Mustapha, thank you so much for your time. I do appreciate it. Have a good day. Fadl is co-chair of the Donegal branch of the Ireland Palestine Solidarity Campaign.